Welcome to the Brian Craig Show podcast. My name is Brian Craig, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. It's amazing how many developments have happened just in the last couple of hours. Now, I was talking on the previous stream that right now, the state of Illinois, the state of Oregon, and the state of California, as well as some of the local governments, but those three states are in open rebellion against the federal government. That's just the way it is. That's not clickbaity. It's not sensationalism. It's a reality, right? We had the battle for the Los Angeles a couple months ago with the ICE agents and the ICE facility under attack. Right now, we've got the Antifa ICE facility under siege by Antifa in Portland. There's a lot of violence going on out there. And the center of the rebellion right now is in Chicago, Illinois. And I went through this morning on the previous live stream, the one right before this one, that ICE agents were attacked in an organized, coordinated attack. We're not sure yet who, it's still developing who was behind the attack, but ICE agents, few ICE agents in a single vehicle, were boxed in by 10 cars. One crashed into them, and then they got out with rifles and began a gunfight, a firefight with the ICE officers. The ICE officers fled on foot, shooting one of the attackers, one of the ambushers. The Chicago Patrol's police chief, the police chief of the patrol units of Chicago, went on the radio and ordered officers not to respond, not to give backup to the ICE officers who were fleeing on foot from these 10-car load of attackers with rifles. It's crazy what's happening here. We have rogue judges, even one appointed by Trump, who thinks they're in charge of the military and of the nation's security. I mean, there is open rebellion going on. It is another Confederate States of America. And then today, Johnson, who's the idiot mayor of Chicago, came out with this. Listen.
Today, we are signing an executive order aimed at reining in this out-of-control administration. The order establishes ICE-free zones. That means that city property and unwilling private businesses will no longer serve as staging grounds for these raids.
Okay. The city government of Chicago does not have any authority over the federal government, okay, or the federal agents or whatever other federal representatives are sent there by the President of the United States to take part in deportation activities and to establish order. But this is what I mean by open rebellion. And, you know, with this radio call that went through today, that I'm going to play for you again in a minute. I played this on the previous stream, but I'm going to play it again. This was the chief of patrol for the Chicago Police Department. Right after the call went out from the ICE agents, they were under attack, 10 carloads of armed whoever that were shooting at them. They were fleeing on foot. Their car was boxed in. And you'll hear in a moment, ordered officers to stand down and not respond. This is what I mean by open rebellion. And you got to wonder, these Chicago politicians, who are they on the take with? I'm sure, has everyone not seen The Untouchables, the Kevin Costner, Sean Connery movie? Very good movie. I know it's mostly fiction, but it's based on some actual events. But back then, it was a given that the judges, the politicians, and the police were on the take. And they were out there covering for the bootleggers, for Al Capone. And these bootleggers were murdering and everything. Well, here we are, almost 100 years later. It's the same city, the same thing's going on. Who are they owned by now? Trinde, MS-13, both. Who else? We don't know, but there's something going on. Listen, now this is what's scary about this radio call. It's bad enough if the chief of the patrol units would have done this, but he went out on the air and did this over the radio for the world to hear. And in this day and age, you can assume it's going to go public. He's not even afraid that the public are going to find out what it is that he's doing. So the ICE agents, they're under attack. There's a gun battle going on. They have shot one of the attackers, a lady who was later arrested. They're fleeing on foot through the streets of Chicago, trying to make their way back to ICE headquarters. I mean, this is a gun battle like in an American city that I've never seen. I'm surprised we haven't seen a lot of footage of this yet. They're suppressing the video footage of this. But this is the Chicago police radio call right after the ICE agents are calling for help, calling for backup. They're outnumbered. They're outgunned. They're fleeing on foot. They're calling in for help.
Okay. Any kind of particular hairstyle, just younger male Hispanic on foot wearing all black?
No hairstyle.
Okay, 10-4. And one is for the hit and run. This guy fled from the scene at 37th Place in Kedzie. It all started at I-55 in Kedzie. Then they fled southbound at Kedzie, where that offending vehicle crashed. They ran the federal agent off the road. They fled on foot westbound 37th Place from Kedzie. It was a male Hispanic younger wearing all black clothing. 99.
Yeah, send the cars in that direction. Have them stay put 2 or 3 blocks away, all right? Have them hold tight until I give you further direction, please.
Okay, 10-4. And for the units responding to 39th Place in Kedzie per 999, if you guys can just, for the units responding to 39th Place in Kedzie, if you guys can start heading there as quick as you can, and then just hold tight for instructions with 999.
999.
999.
So the chief of patrol, clear everybody up. We're not responding over there.
The chief of patrol, clear everybody out. We're not responding over there. Now, if you're watching the live stream with the green behind me, go to my main stream. You can see and hear all the audio and video that I'm sharing. The link to the main stream is in the description of that video. It'll take you right there on YouTube. Okay. So that was what I had this morning. And then a little while ago is when the mayor of Chicago came out with this ICE-free zone, which is a follow-up to this attack on ICE. Don't you see what they're doing? They're criminalizing law enforcement and legalizing the attacks on them. That what the mayor is doing, and this guy doesn't have enough brain cells in his head to come up with this idea on his own, so he's the front man for, he's like the president of Mexico, who, she's a front for the cartels. The mayor of Chicago is a front for someone. Who? I don't know. Hopefully we'll find out soon. But what he's doing is he's covering for these attackers on ICE, he is passing a local ordinance, which he doesn't have the authority to do, and it's not binding, but he's still passing it, that ICE are the ones that are breaking the law. And the citizens are in a self-defense mode, is what he's saying. These people that are attacking ICE, they're not criminals. They're not gangsters. They're not terrorists. They're citizens who are standing their ground against this illegal army of ICE agents that are in our city. That's what the mayor is doing. And this is escalating. It's escalating by the hour. What needs to happen here is not only do we not have a functioning government in Chicago, the surrounding area, or the state of Illinois, we have a criminal government that is obviously working for some, a criminal government that's obviously working for some bad people. Who that is, we can guess. Is it Soros? Is it MS? We don't know. But they're working for someone. They're not doing this for nothing. So what needs to happen here is President Trump needs to make some type of pronouncement through executive orders and federalize the entire state of Illinois. It's got to happen. We have outlaws that are not just running the state, running the city, and running the police, because that was one of their chiefs from the Chicago Police Department that went on the radio and ordered them not to do backup. When I first got that radio call yesterday, I saw it online. I didn't go live with it. It's so crazy. I couldn't believe it was real. And it's been verified time and time again by major news outlets. So it is real. It's hard for me to believe. I've never heard of something like this even happening. Here's Fox News reporting.
We're hearing from a lot of rank-and-file Chicago cops who say that they are outraged that they were ordered to stand down after federal agents.
Well, what's this following these illegal orders? They should have disobeyed those orders. ICE, they are federal officers. They are federal police. And they're calling for backup. What kind of cops do they have in Chicago that won't respond to police officers who are facing an overwhelming force in a gunfight.
We're hearing from a lot of rank-and-file Chicago cops who say that they are outraged that they were ordered to stand down after federal agents were attacked. The communication for the stand down appears to have come from the chief of patrol himself over the communications platform with the Office of Emergency Management and Communication, reading very clearly, no units will respond to this.
Okay, now how did he know so much about what was going on so fast? Did he? The chief of the patrol needs to be arrested, brought in for some serious questioning, because he seems to have a lot of information on an ongoing event that's not yet even been reported.
Multiple police sources have confirmed that that message is authentic, and it is backed up by audio of the stand-down order.
So the chief of patrol clear everybody up. We're not responding over there.
All right, and 999, just to confirm, 39th Police in Kedzie, they were saying that they were being surrounded by that large crowd, and they were requesting the police were not sending. I'm waving off all the cars heading to 39th Police in Kedzie.
Again, those are the orders we're being given.
Now, the official statement from Chicago Police Department reads, CPD responded to the scene to document the incident. CPD officers were also on the scene to maintain public safety and traffic control. It happened in Brighton Park. The scene was triggered when two individuals allegedly rammed a Border Patrol vehicle with their cars. Border Patrol agents shot the driver of one of the allegedly attacking vehicles. The drivers are now charged federally, but the incident triggered a riot. That's when the calls for help went out. Now, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson just moments ago dodged questions about whether that order tracks back to him, but he says he doubts the narrative of the Border Patrol agents.
He's doubting the Border Patrol agents and taking the word of the thugs that boxed them in, crashed into them, surrounded them by 10 cars in an obviously well-planned, coordinated event, and started firing on federal officers. He's taking their word over the ICE agents.
They claimed it was defensive fire. But frankly, we cannot trust anything that comes out of the administration. We have a rogue, reckless group of heavily armed mass individuals roaming throughout our city.
Now, keep in mind, he's talking about the ICE agents. Okay, the ICE agents are the gang. This is the mayor talking, by the way.
Questions about whether that order tracks back to him, but he says he doubts the narrative of the Border Patrol agents.
They claimed it was defensive fire. But frankly, we cannot trust anything that comes out of the administration. We have a rogue, reckless group of heavily armed mass individuals roaming throughout our city that are not accountable to the people of Chicago. Their actions put all Chicagoans at risk.
Wow.
And we knew this was coming, but the Illinois Attorney General has just made it official. The state of Illinois is now suing the Trump administration, claiming that the president...
Okay, so now we have the governor of Illinois, we have the Attorney General of Illinois, the mayor of Chicago, and the chief of the patrol units for the City of Chicago Police Department. All of them are in open rebellion against the federal government. They're interfering with government business, which was the definition of insurrection by CNN, MSNBC, liberals out there, and never Trumpers a few years ago, after January 6th. But they are actually backing those people that are attacking with rifles these federal agents. This is a state that is in rebellion, open rebellion against the federal government. No doubt about it. Our number is toll-free if you're listening live, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're watching. My name is Brian. This is the Brian Craig Show podcast. The Brian Craig Show podcast is available on all podcast platforms. Just go to wherever you get podcasts and search for the Brian Craig Show. The show will pop up. If you want to catch the show live in video form, go to my YouTube channel, Brian Craig Show on YouTube. Subscribe there. Click the notification bell. You can catch the show live and call in and get the video version. But the audio version of the podcast is on all podcast platforms. All right, let's take some of these calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You're right about this. You're right about this mayor. There's somebody pulling his strings. and we want to know who's pulling these people. You know, his strings, Pritzker, the mayor of Portland, and all that, governor of Oregon, and stuff like that. We want to know who's pulling their strings, and we've got to. And the only way we're going to know who's pulling their strings is to get one of these people to flip.
Yeah. Well, I think a way to do it is I would start with this police chief of patrol who ordered the stand down, arrest him, investigate him, and check out his finances and the finances of his immediate and extended family to find out if there's been any major deposits lately, or if his lifestyle is above what he earns as the chief of patrol for the Chicago Police Department, because this doesn't add up with this guy. That's what you got to do. Now, I know this would involve Kash Patel, Dan Bongino doing something. I've yet to see them do much, and Pam Bondi too. There's never, Kristi Noem's been on the ground in that area for days, and she's been on the front lines. Where's Kash? Where's Bongino? Disappointing us again, no doubt. Now, Caroline Leavitt had an incredible press conference today. I do want to go through some of that, but first I want to let you guys know that if you would like to support my program, become a Patreon supporter. If you become a Patreon supporter, you get commercial-free editions of all my podcast episodes. Also, you get exclusive access not just to commercial-free editions of the podcast, but a lot of other information that my wife and I both post to the Patreon page that we post nowhere else. And if you become a top Patreon supporter, you get a live on-air thank you on every episode. Plus, you get your name up on the screen here on YouTube. So the names you'll hear now are my top Patreon supporters. I want to thank SF Jr., Christine, ETW, Chuck, Pamela, Nick, Wesley, Doris, Heather, David, Maria in Texas, Alice, Lee Zepp, Shauna, George, Brandon, John, Frank, Dale, Tina, David, Laura, Rob, Wes, Sue, Janice, Teresa, and our newest top Patreon supporter, Irene. If you'd like to become a Patreon supporter, there's a link in the description of the episode, or on whatever platform you're listening on, or you just go directly to patreon.com/RealBrianCraigShow. All right, so let's get into Carolyn Leavitt, who had just had a great press conference today, and we'll talk about this as we go. Here she is talking about the shutdown.
While President Trump continues to negotiate peace deals, meets with world leaders, and celebrates the 250th birthday.
Oh, by the way, before I play this, I think most MAGA people believe Pam Bondi's got to go, but the question is, do you think that Pam Bondi's going to be replaced by the president? Out of everyone in the cabinet, everyone's performing very well, except I see this going on. I'm not seeing any reaction from Pam Bondi. Not even a press conference about this. Do you think that President Trump will fire her and replace her? What do you guys think? All right, so here's Carolyn Leavitt from her press conference today. Here she is talking about the shutdown.
While President Trump continues to negotiate peace deals, meets with world leaders, and celebrates the 250th birthday of our United States Navy, as you saw he and the First Lady do just yesterday, Democrats, unfortunately, are continuing to play political games. And we are now in day 6 of the Democrat federal government shutdown. Millions of American federal workers are under enormous financial stress as a result, wondering how they will pay their bills and take care of their families.
I mean, this is an unbelievable thing. I mean, the Democrats have shut down the government. So the people they claim to represent the most and fight for aren't getting their money. And it's starting to get really bad.
If the Democrats do not vote to open the government tonight, federal workers will not receive their next full paycheck. Additionally, the special supplemental nutrition program for women, infants, and children will run out of federal money very soon. This program provides vouchers to buy infant formula, fresh fruits and vegetables, and other healthy foods for low-income families. It can be easily fully funded if Democrats simply vote tonight to reopen the government. Also, our incredible military service members who risk their lives to preserve and defend our country are now working without pay and will miss their next paychecks if this Democrat shutdown does not end tonight.
Okay, so, these people in the military, they've got car payments. Some of them have mortgages. They've got kids in school. Halloween's coming up. Got to buy some costumes for the kids. They're not these guys are out here working their tails off. Some of them risking their lives, and they're not getting paid. Why? Because $80 million Schumer, who's worked for the government his whole life, but he's worth $80 million, is trying to act all butch because he's afraid AOC's coming after him in the primary. There are literally people that are about to go out without food because of this. Maybe get their credit cards shut down. Maybe get their cars put into repo.
The Republican-backed clean and nonpartisan funding bill fully funds this important food aid program, gets our troops paid, and reopens the government. So all of this begs the question, what is the Democrat ongoing shutdown truly about?
Exactly.
The sad truth, we believe, is that the Democrats intentionally shut down the government and are inflicting this pain on American citizens to try and demand free health care for illegal aliens. Of course, this is an indefensible and truly radical policy to be in favor of, let alone to use as the primary reason to shut down the United States government. So the Democrats and their allies are desperately lying about their...
Yeah. You know, the Democrats, you know, what they think is... See, the reason that the Democrats, prior to Trump coming down the escalator years ago, the reason the Democrats had success is because, right or wrong, they always felt the pulse of the American people and would go into the wind of towards the direction that the American people wanted. They've lost touch with the pulse of the American people, okay? They can believe these fake push polls that show that Americans support criminals and whatnot. Nobody supports that. They can promote these polls that people don't want the illegals deported. President Trump a year ago won the national election and won the every battleground state, promising to do what he's doing right now. So I don't buy any of this crap that people don't support the deportations and ICE. This is what he ran on. This was his biggest issue in the election. Okay, so that's just a bunch of nonsense. Don't believe any of those polls. But they believe it because they've lost touch with reality. Now, with this government shutdown, what the Democrats think and what they're betting on, because prior to Trump, Republicans always caved, they think Trump and the Republicans are going to cave. They think if they inflict enough pain on the military and others, that the Republicans are going to cave and get Trump to go along with what they want. And that's not going to happen. And, you know, President Trump told the Navy yesterday at the 250th Naval Celebration that he's going to make sure they get paid. He's got a way to do it. He hasn't said what it is. Probably because he doesn't want them to go to some federal judge and stop him from doing it. He just wants to do it. But this government shutdown's going on a week. The Democrats are responsible for it 100%. Everybody knows this. They're not able... See, because the fake news, the legacy media have been exposed, they can't sell their false narratives anymore that they used to sell, okay? And because they can't sell their false narratives... They can't get the people to believe their lies. Everyone knows you need a 60-vote majority. We only have 53 Republicans in the Senate, so we need some Democrats to come over to get this budget through, so the military can get paid and these other things that Carolyn Levitt was talking about can get taken care of. No one's buying this. That it's the Republicans. It has nothing to do with the Democrats. It is 100% the Democrats. All right, this next clip we'll play. This is, this is a good one. Here she is talking about the shutdown.
The Democrats and their allies are desperately lying about their true motivations. We have to set...
Now, this is an extended version of the one I just played, but I want to go through
the record straight with the facts so the American people understand what's really at play here. House Republicans passed a clean and nonpartisan funding bill to keep the government open and ensure our troops and other hardworking Americans are paid. Every single House Democrat except one voted against this clean and nonpartisan funding bill. Senate Republicans have subsequently tried to pass this same clean funding bill 4 separate times, and they will do so again tonight, to fully pass it to be sent to the president's desk for signature. And the president is ready to sign this bill to reopen the government as soon as it is sent to his desk. Yet every single Senate Democrat except 3 have voted against this clean and nonpartisan funding bill. The Democrats' current position is that the only way the American government can reopen is if illegal aliens can get free health care.
That's right.
Don't take my word for it. Just look at what's inside of the Democrats' proposal to reopen the government. Their funding proposal would result in nearly $200 billion spent on health care for illegal aliens and other non-citizens over the next decade. To put this in perspective, $200 billion is enough money to fund the entire children's health insurance program, which provides health insurance to low-income children and women.
See, the Democrats, they've given up on the American people, and they want the South American people here taken care of. That's their new constituency. It's very obvious. They couldn't be more obvious if they were trying as to where their allegiances truly are. Now, if you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, the number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. It's pinned in the live chat if you're watching live, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm Gregory.
Yep.
I'm from Texas.
All right, Gregory in Texas. What's
Am I
on your
on the
mind?
air?
You're on the air, yes.
Okay. I saw this number on a live stream. What are you asking?
Aren't you watching?
I was, but I saw you. Are you the one with the Trump 2028 hat?
Absolutely, that's me.
Okay. So I guess my question is, why do you want him to serve another term?
Because he's the greatest president we've had in my lifetime, maybe in the history of this country. The Democrats are an
Better
open...
than Reagan?
Yes.
You think so?
I know so.
Okay.
I was alive when Reagan was president. Because Reagan did some great things, but they were primarily for the people of Europe and Russia with the collapse of the Soviet Union. Okay?
I mean, I feel like Trump is doing that too, though, isn't he?
No. Trump closed down the border, is deporting criminals by the millions, okay? Right? I mean, these are the things he's doing. He's going to war with the drug cartels, literally blowing their drug boats out of the water, stopping their drug trafficking through our border. He's about to...
He's also giving like hundreds of billions of dollars to Israel.
Well, I'm sorry that you hate Jews, okay? But
I didn't say that.
Ronald Reagan gave money to Israel too, and you said he was the greatest. So
I mean, I feel like every American president since World War II has at least given Israel some support.
Exactly.
But at some point, you have to sit back and realize that at what point are we not serving the American people, we're serving the Israeli people? You know?
Yeah. I just feel like that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about what's going on in this country. This country,
I know.
This country
That's why
has
I'm
been
upset that he keeps giving money to Israel.
This country. Well, you just don't. Just be honest. You hate Jews. Just be honest. You don't care about the money.
Said that.
Yeah, you don't care about. You don't care about that.
You said
sure,
that.
you did. What did
what
did the Jews have to do with anything that we're talking about?
I'm not talking about specifically the Jews. I meant
Israel. That is the Jews.
Zionist.
Israel is the Jewish state. Okay. I'm not. Excuse me.
Zionist.
I don't care what you're talking. I'm not talking about Israel or Zionist or any of that. I'm talking about President Trump and what's going on in this country. And the Democrats are responsible for death and destruction. Okay. They're in open rebellion right now. There is an insurrection going on in Chicago against the federal government. Right now as we speak.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Wasn't January 6th also
no.
an insurrection?
No.
No, it wasn't? Okay.
Nope.
I mean, from what I have gathered so far, I feel I'm pretty sure weren't a bunch of Trump supporters and MAGA influencers as well as families going to the Capitol to try and ask them to recount the votes?
No, well, that's not an insurrection,
Okay.
and that's not an insurrection. You know, these ICE agents,
you don't know.
Excuse me.
An insurrection.
I don't care what the media says. The media says inside the womb there's not a human life, that it's some glob of cells that's not a life until it's out of the womb.
Well,
I don't care what the media say. All right. The media also tell us, by the way, that the ice caps are melting and the Earth won't be able to support life in 10 years. And they said that like 11 years ago. So who cares what the media says? If you're on hold, hang in there. I want to talk about Dr. Philip Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. if you want to say bye-bye to your pain like I've done 7 times, give Dr. Appleton a call. We've had listeners travel from all over the United States to see Dr. Appleton. It's not just a laser that he has. It is a robotic laser. And his robotic laser, and Dr. Appleton performs all the treatments himself, not an assistant or anything. The robotic laser actually moves. It's completely painless. You don't even feel it when it's happening. As an example, one of the 7 times he rid me of pain was my knee. And the robotic laser moved around my entire knee. So it treated the top, the side, the bottom, from behind, the other side, and then back around. And what the laser does is repairs the damage that's causing you the pain. It works on every type of pain I've ever heard of: arthritis, bursitis, work and sports injuries, strains and sprains, repetitive motion injuries, post-surgical swelling, neck and back injuries, knee conditions, tinnitus, sciatica, spinal stenosis, fibromyalgia, plantar fasciitis, rotary tears, herniated disc, acute pain, chronic pain. That is a very incomplete list. It works on every type of pain I've ever heard of. And a lot of you know you're living pain-free too. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays with Dr. Appleton. Give him a call. Take advantage of the no-charge free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. If you're on hold, hang in there. We're going to take our break and be back after this.
Clarity feels safe, yet history shows it's confusion that can tip the balance of power. In the book, The Art of Confusion, How Chaos and Uncertainty Can Lead to Victory, author George Lasso shatters the belief that order always brings strength, instead showing how uncertainty, ambiguity, and misdirection, when used with precision, can shift power, shape outcomes, and create advantage. From history's greatest battles to modern boardrooms and political arenas, confusion has been wielded by leaders to disorient rivals, paralyze opponents, and open doors to victory. When you read The Art of Confusion, you'll uncover a framework for recognizing when confusion is being used against you and how to defend yourself before making critical decisions. Strategic, practical, and eye-opening, The Art of Confusion is a playbook for advantage as well as a survival guide for our noisy, unpredictable world. The Art of Confusion from author George Lasso is available now on Amazon and Kindle, paperback, hardcover, and free with Kindle Unlimited. Victory belongs to those who understand the power of uncertainty. The Art of Confusion on Amazon. Order your copy right now. Do you have old Pokemon cards sitting in a closet or a binder? What if I told you some of those cards could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars? The secret is grading. Grading is when professionals inspect your card's condition and give it a score. And that score can turn a $50 card into a $5,000 collectible. But here's the problem. Most collectors don't know which cards are worth grading or how to do it without wasting money. That's where the unofficial handbook for grading and selling Pokemon cards from author Jonathan Oakes, available on Amazon, comes in. This book is the first straightforward guide that explains grading in simple, easy-to-understand steps. When you read the official handbook for grading and selling Pokemon cards, you'll learn which cards to grade, how to send them cost-effectively, which services you can trust, and the smartest way to sell them online once they're graded. CBS and the Wall Street Journal both report that Pokemon cards are one of the hottest investments right now. Don't let your cards sit in the dark. Learn how to unlock their true value. Order your copy of The Unofficial Handbook for Grading and Selling Pokemon Cards from author Jonathan Oakes on Amazon, available in Kindle and free with Kindle Unlimited. Start collecting smarter and making money. Order your copy right now. Transform interiors into showcases of refinement at Ansel.com. Explore bespoke furniture, carved for perfection, statement decor, and advanced home technology designed to impress. Every piece exudes elegance and exclusivity. Discover these exceptional collections today at Ansele.com and elevate your home with sophistication and distinction. Ansel.com, where prestige lives.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Thanks for tuning in. The Brian Craig Show podcast is available on all podcast platforms. Just go to wherever you get your podcast and search The Brian Craig Show. I'll pop right up. All right, so let's get back to Caroline Leavitt at a great press conference today. If you're on hold, stand by. Here she is talking about the Portland rebellion against the federal government, the insurrection of Portland that's being backed by their local police and that weirdo governor of Oregon.
I would encourage you as a reporter to go on the ground and to take a look at it for yourself, because there's been many members.
Okay, now what inspired this question is, sadly, a Trump-appointed judge ruled that the president can't send the National Guard into Portland to maintain order, even though federal agents are under attack and the ICE federal building is under siege.
I would encourage you as a reporter to go on the ground and to take a look at it for yourself, because there's been many members of the press, not press in this room, but independent journalists, some of whom we'll be inviting to the White House very soon to share their stories, because they have been in the middle of these riots and they have witnessed the anarchy that is taking place night after night. It's on video. You should play it on your show. You have a great opportunity on prime time on CNN to show.
I love this. So she's talking about Nick Sorter's coming to the White House, obviously.
Your audience. Yeah, but you're probably talking to partisan Democrat officials who are opposed to everything this president does. You should also ask the people who live in Portland. We've actually heard from many members of the community who have said that this is complete civil disobedience. It's a mess. It's been loud. It's been troubling for neighbors in the community who are just trying to live peacefully. And these people are not there to peacefully protest. They are there to cause mayhem and havoc.
Yeah, so here's Caroline Levitt. The press are trying to tell us that it's peaceful in Portland. I mean, we're watching it. You know, we have people on the scene with iPhones live streaming, showing us what's going on. It's all over X. Don't believe your lying eyes. These people are out of their minds. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes. Oh, here's another winner.
Yeah, I'm calling from someplace in California.
Okay.
My name is James.
Okay. Yes. You called me.
Yeah. So is there a topic for today? Or
There's always a topic. You watch the show, you'll hear the topic. Watch the show and you'll get the topics. I'm not gonna run them by you now. This is not a pitch meeting. Watch the show, take issue with something I say, then call. Got it?
All right.
All right, take care. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's me from Florida. I just wanted to ask you.
I'm sure. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Adam from New York.
Hey, New York. What's on your mind?
Yeah, this is getting ridiculous with Chicago.
Yeah.
What's going on with this governor? He needs to be arrested right now.
Well, not only him. The first one I would arrest would be this police chief. I'd bring him in and question him, the one that ordered the stand down of the cops to not give backup to the federal agents who were under attack. He knew too much about what was going on too quick. I'm just wondering if he had prior knowledge, you know? I don't know.
You know, the president has another option. I did some research, and if the courts somehow go against, he could federalize and create volunteer militia groups.
Why do that? He has National Guard troops around the country.
I understand that, Brian, but that's another option if some reason.
That doesn't sound like a good option.
Okay.
No.
Whatever.
I think sending in the troops is the option. You know, they're in uniforms. They've got big equipment, big tanks. You know what I mean? That's the way to go. And they're trained and they're trained in this.
Yes. Yeah.
And they have the proper equipment. You're talking about guys like you. You know, you and I don't have the proper equipment or training to do something like that. And you don't want to be all of a sudden putting civilians in some militia and sending them into one of the most dangerous cities this country has ever had, Chicago, and take on these MS-13 Trinda guys. These are trained. You talk about militias. These are trained soldiers. That operation they pulled on the ICE officers was a military operation.
Yeah. All right, I just wanted to call.
Okay.
This governor needs to be arrested.
Absolutely.
Today.
Absolutely. They're in rebellion.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
All right, you take care. This is, without question, an insurrection. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
That was a little rude. It's Jack from Sarasota.
Mm-hmm. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is Sean from Massachusetts.
Hey, Sean. What's up, friend?
Hey, you know what? God, exactly. We need to arrest this chief first.
Yeah.
Interrogate the hell out of him.
Yeah.
That's the first thing to do. We need to get
check his finances, the finances of his immediate and extended family as well.
Exactly. Every connection there is. I mean, there's so many. And also, this Brandon Johnson, this guy has about 100 of the police department, 100 men guarding him, like as a personal detail, at least 100, from what I know, what I've heard, and maybe it's more than that. And it's disgusting. And this guy, all he cares about is his own ego and his own power, and he's using everything to his pleasure.
Yes.
And he wants the city to burn, fall apart. You know, they emphasize.
Well, listen, one thing about, by the way, thanks for the call. You know, one thing we know about Democrats, they don't do anything for nothing, right? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling out of Chicago.
Hey, Chicago. What's going on?
All I got to tell you, man, is Trump is not taking over Chicago. The ICE agents are getting attacked out here. That shit ain't flying in Chicago, so that narrative is
well. They got attacked this weekend, but that's going to change. That's not going to be allowed.
They've been getting attacked every day. I'm from the south side of
well,
Chicago.
That's going to end. Enjoy it while it lasts. That's not going to be the norm.
And that gang that you're talking about, it's not even native to Chicago, my friend. The gangs over here are fucking ICE agents up. Look it up on TikTok, my friend.
Oh yeah, I've seen the video. See what they're dealing with. You know what's going on in Chicago. I mean, I've been telling you guys that Chicago, along with California, the state of Illinois as a whole, and Oregon are in a state of rebellion and insurrection against the federal government. You heard that caller. The gangs are ICE, and they're getting what they deserve according to the caller. They're gone, and they don't think like normal people. But President Trump's not going to be putting up with that. All right, let's take another call here. If you're on hold, hang in there. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. This is Robert from Tampa.
Hey.
I just like the way you handled that guy from Sarasota. You think you can just call in and mash up the whole show? Thank you very much, and thanks for what you're doing, okay?
All right, well, thanks for listening. It's appreciated.
All right, bye-bye.
All right,
Yeah,
take care. Yep, let's go here. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. Let me get back to this. Let me see. Did I play this clip already? I'm not sure if I played this one. This is back to Caroline Levitt. If you're on hold, hang in there.
With all due respect to that judge, I think her opinion is untethered.
Okay, this is, I might have played this before, but I'll play it again. She's talking about this judge who was appointed by Trump, who is a traitor. She came up through the bushes, and she was a state's attorney in Portland. So, you know, she's compromised. But she's the one that made the order that Trump can't send the National Guard into Portland because it's peaceful there. Don't believe your lying eyes. Don't believe this stuff you're seeing on TV. Nick Sorter being attacked. Don't believe any of that.
With all due respect to that judge, I think her opinion is untethered in reality and in the law. The president is using his authority as commander-in-chief, U.S. Code 12406, which clearly states that the president has the right to call up the National Guard in cases where he deems it's appropriate.
That's right.
And if you look at what has happened in Portland, Oregon, for more than 100 nights, I was talking to our law enforcement team about it this morning, for more than 100 days, night after night after night, the ICE facility has been really under siege by these anarchists outside. They have been disrespecting law enforcement. They've been inciting violence. We saw, again, a guillotine rolled out in front of this federal building. And so the president wants to ensure that our federal buildings and our assets are protected. And that's exactly what he's trying to do. And ultimately, in the case in Los Angeles, that judge ruled in the Ninth Circuit, that panel of judges ruled that those troops could remain and that the president was well within his authority to do so. So we are appealing that decision. As you know, we expect a hearing on it pretty quickly. And we're very confident in the president's legal authority to do this. And we're very confident we will win on the merits of the law.
Yeah, I mean, they got to be, you know, these Supreme Court justices are going to have to are going to have to weigh in on this. And you know, these judges are part of the insurrection. I don't care who appointed them. Okay, back to Caroline Leavitt. Great press conference today. It's hard. She is not only one of the best, if not the best, White House press secretaries we had. It's hard. She's only 28. She's probably like the best skilled 28-year-old we got out there.
It's a shame that
she'd be somebody good at these college campuses, right? Taking on the students. She's handling these top-tier fake news reporters that are like 3 times her age. She's filleting them. Could you imagine how well she would do replacing Charlie Kirk at the universities? Caroline Leavitt? Oh, my goodness.
It's a shame that we see in some cities across the country that their mayors are just simply refusing to cooperate because they don't like Donald Trump. And that's what this boils down to. And I don't think any American would disagree that Chicago needs more law enforcement reinforcements, that they need more resources. Look at this headline from over the weekend. At least 30 people shot during the weekend in Democrat-run Chicago.
Yeah, I hear, I was just going to go to that next. Look at this. ICE are the bad guys? At least 30 shot over the weekend in Chicago. 5 of them fatally. And of the other 25, some of them could die or have injuries that they suffer from for the rest of their lives. Oh, I lost my spot here. Here we are. All right, back to Caroline Leavitt.
5 of them were killed in one weekend. This is completely unacceptable, and the president wants to make American cities safer, and he's willing to work with anyone to do it.
If the courts allow you to ultimately send in the National Guard into Chicago and Portland.
If the courts allow you, screw the courts. It's not up to unelected judges wearing robes that could be naked underneath those robes, a bunch of weirdos. It's not up for judges to supervise and tell the president of the United States what he can and cannot do with the military or make the lives of Americans safe in our country.
If the courts allow you to ultimately send in the National Guard into Chicago and Portland, do Democrats not have reason to be concerned that there are long-term plans by this administration to keep U.S. military or the National Guard in American cities, like what we're seeing here in Washington?
Why should they be concerned about the federal government offering help to make their cities a safer place? Exactly. They should be concerned about this. They should be concerned about the fact that people in their cities right now are being gunned down every single night. And the president, all he's trying to do is fix it. Mm-hmm. And there has been a complete smear campaign by the Democrats and the media, quite frankly. I was reading Political Playbook this morning, one of the most inside the Beltway newsletters you can find. And you guys are framing this like the president wants to take over the American cities with the military. The president wants to help these local leaders who have been completely ineffective in securing their own cities. And we have already seen there's a positive formula for that. Look at Washington, D.C. The murder rate has declined significantly. Our streets are safer. People who live here feel safer. All of you in this room, I know you do, you just won't admit it. And it's a proven system that works, and the president wants to make America's cities safe again.
Yeah, this is amazing because we know of several instances of members of the White House press corps who have been robbed at gunpoint. President Trump rid the city of crime. They're living safely now, right? They can walk around. They don't have to worry about getting guns pointed in their faces anymore. And that not only are they covering that up, the White House press corps, they're like pissed off at President Trump for making it a crime-free city. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
The girl in house, and I just like to let you know, go fuck you.
Okay, that's nice. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, well, hello. My name's Sebastian. I'm calling from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched you on YouTube Shorts or whatever, and something came out to me that I think is very un-American. You said that the courts, that unelected judges do not have the right to tell you or to tell the administration what to do. And I think that's frankly un-American. I mean, it is the founders who set up a system where the courts could check the power of elected officials.
What these unelected federal judges are doing, okay, is they're involved in a courtroom rebellion against the Commander-in-Chief of the United States, trying to supervise him in his day-to-day activities.
understand that that's literally the court's jobs, right?
No,
like it is
no,
the job
nope,
of the courts
nope,
to supervise the
nope,
executive branch.
Nope.
We live in a co-equal branch
no,
government.
they're not co-equal.
Which,
they're not co-equal. That's some BS that you've been
then
brainwashed
what's more
with.
powerful? Excuse me.
No, the most they do not have co-equal powers. The president of the United States has a nuclear arsenal at his disposal and the most powerful military that's ever existed. They are not equal to him. It is not co-equal powers.
Well,
that's a liberal urban legend.
Okay, so you think it's okay for a strong man to run this country and have no checks on his power because he has nukes?
The checks on his power, it's called the electorate. He was just elected a year ago, less than a year ago. Won all the battleground states, running on doing what he's doing right now, ridding this country of the illegal invaders that are violent. Look, they're attacking ICE agents.
His approval ratings don't necessarily say that.
Who cares? He was elected to a 4-year term. You don't go by the daily approval ratings from some fake news media outlet.
I agree with you.
The president ran. Listen. He ran on doing what he's doing now, and he won every battleground state. He won the popular vote. He's got the populace on his side. I'm sorry, girly men like you don't like strong leaders.
I don't think that the normal people who elected him. I don't think that normal people who elected him expected him to completely exacerbate the powers of the executive branch.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
He has expanded the power of the
Really?
executive branch.
What power is he expanded?
Well, I mean, the Supreme Court has determined that he's essentially not liable for any type of prosecution.
No, excuse me. What power is he using right now that is not a presidential power normally that he's expanded?
Let me give you a very clear example. I'm a patriot. I think you're a patriot too. I don't have a doubt for that. I'm a patriot. I'm an American. I was born here on this soil. One of the first things that he did as the president of the United States is attempt to pass an executive order, he did put it in there. God bless the Supreme Court for having some dignity. And they said, and in his executive order, he said, basically he wants to repeal the right of birthright citizenship in this nation. Do you think that's okay?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so you think, for example, I was born in Houston, Texas. I'm an American. I would bleed. I would die.
No, you know that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about some. He's talking. Excuse me. I let you talk enough. All right, it's my turn.
Go ahead.
Okay. What he's talking about are these people that get knocked up south of the border. They come here, drop their baby in some emergency room, and now all of a sudden they got American citizens, and then they retire. You know what he's talking about. He's not talking about taking your citizenship away, stupid.
Wait, first of all, is that the fault of the baby? Is that baby not an American?
No, they're not.
Does that baby not have a chance to
Nope, they're not Americans.
his own life?
They're South Americans, Mexican Americans, but they're not United States of Americans. Nope.
Excuse me.
My
family, I'm the first American in my family.
Good for you.
I'm not talking to you with an accent, am I?
Good for you.
Do you hear an accent in my voice?
Listen, Trump's children, all but one of them, okay, are first-generation Americans on their mother's side. What does that mean? So what?
Exactly.
But they came here legally. They didn't, Melania didn't come over here and have an anchor baby, okay? President Trump's first wife didn't have an anchor baby either. They did it the legal way, get their citizenship. You know what he's talking about.
Yeah, well, I don't know what that means.
You know exactly what it means. You sound stupid, but you're not as dumb as you sound. Listen, I got to run. Appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. My name's Brian. You're listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast, available on all podcast platforms. Back with more after this. On the line, we have Bruce. Bruce is a client of Jupiter Joe Thomas. He heard me talking with Joe Thomas about annuities and what a great deal they are, and he went in with his wife, and now he's a client. Hey, Bruce, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Brian.
So tell me about your experience with Jupiter Joe Thomas.
A fine gentleman. We sat down with Joe, and we explained everything to him, and we brought all our information, and he worked everything out great.
The cool thing about annuities is your money's never at risk. you're guaranteed a revenue stream for the rest of your life, but there's a bonus, really a signing bonus, where you can make a boatload of money before you even leave Joe Thomas's office. Can you talk a little bit about that, Bruce?
Well, that's where I was surprised when we sat down. We talked about the bonuses, and to my amazement, it was 10%, and there was even another one that's bigger.
Wow, that's amazing. So you made 10% on your money before you even got back in your car.
Yeah, it was more than that, but it was great.
Listen, guys, do what Bruce did. Give Jupiter Joe Thomas a call. You can set up a free consultation either on the phone or in the office, and Joe Thomas will put together a custom proposal just for you. His number is 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999, and online at jupiterjoe.com. All right, Bruce, thanks so much.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Life can knock you down, but what if you had the power to get back up, stronger than ever before? It is possible. You just need the right help and guidance, and that's what you will find on the podcast, The Power of Up, with Chris Kellogg. Each week, Chris will share real stories, fresh perspectives, as well as practical, actionable tools to lift your mindset, boost your mental health, and remind you that you are never alone on the climb, because when life pulls you down, you have the power of up. Subscribe now on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. The Power of Up with Chris Kellogg. Tune in right now. Are you a Swiftie, a proud chiefty, or maybe both? Then listen up. Introducing Live Life Bold, Love Your Work. Available on Amazon is the ultimate fan-inspired journal from author Latina Baja 1358. It's a fun, creative tribute to Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, and it's designed to help you dream big, stay organized, and express yourself each and every day. You can use it as a personal diary, a notebook, or creative space. Write down your stories, secrets, and lyrics. Sketch your ideas, craft poetry, or plan out your goals. With inspirational icons on the cover and motivating words front and back, Live Life Bold is your daily reminder to embrace your creativity and live unapologetically. Whether you're taking notes, doodling between class, or writing the next great love song, this is more than a notebook. This is your space to shine. Order your copy of Live Life Bold, Love Your Work on Amazon in paperback and hardcover. Start writing your story, Swiftie style. In a world filled with noise, unrest, and uncertainty, what if the cure was already within you? The #1 Amazon bestseller from author Kareem Galani, Fate, Faith, and Free Will, The Alchemy of Anxiety, available on Amazon, seamlessly weaves together ancient wisdom and modern practices. This must-read and life-changing book shows you how to dissolve fear, release anxiety, and awaken the power of love through yoga, breathwork, chakra balancing, and the healing resonance of sound and frequency. Fate, Faith, and Free Will become your guide to living with clarity, compassion, as well as purpose. Fate, Faith, and Free Will is a lifeline for seekers, a call to rise above illusion, and a reminder that the healing of the individual is the healing of the collective. If your soul has been waiting for a spark of truth, this is it. Step into love, step into power, and order your copy right now on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and hardcover editions. Fate, Faith, and Free Will from author Kareem Galani on Amazon.
This is Dr. Philip Appleton. You guys have been hearing me on the radio for years, and everybody knows whoever comes to my office, I care about you 100%. We are treating auto accidents. In an auto accident, there's a lot of things that occur in an accident. Anywhere from headaches, neck pain, shoulder pain, arm pain, elbow pain, wrist pain, knee pain, elbow pain, sciatica. People use the word whiplash all the time. That's it for neck pain. Come in for an evaluation. Let me look at you. Let me evaluate you. And then we can go from there. Auto accidents, Uber, and Lyft accidents, we do take care of, and also slip and falls. So you have any issues, give me a call or come into my office. There's always no cost for the consultation.
Call Dr. Appleton and take advantage of that no-charge consultation right now. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com. And say bye-bye to your pain.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast, available on all podcast platforms. Wherever you get your podcast, just search for the Brian Craig Show. I'll pop right up on all podcast platforms. If you want to catch the live video version, go to my YouTube channel. Go on YouTube, search for the Brian Craig Show there. I'll pop right up. All right, every line on the board is lit, so let's go. I'll just start right at the top. The number's 888-465-2631. Line number 1, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Mike. I'm calling from Portland, Oregon. Thank you for the opportunity to chit-chat, and how do you do?
Doing all right. For a country where, you're calling me from the one of the Confederate States of America that's in open rebellion against the federal government. You got insurrectionists in Portland.
Oh, but I would support Confederacy over unionism in this country.
Oh, really?
But of course, the real thing is God's a monarchist, so I'm for no presidents. We need a monarchy.
Yeah, monarchy.
A Catholic monarchy, but but my question is why do people even assume or feel Trump is a conservative? Like, here's an example. He says, let's get men out of women's sports. But the conservative position would be to ban ladies' sports.
Not at all. No. Conservatives aren't in favor of banning ladies' sports.
Well, then what are you conserving? Women in sports? I mean, I thought we were trying to go back in
I don't
time.
know. Here's another. It's
saying,
amazing. It's been a few days since I had an incel call in. You know what an incel is?
No, sir, but it sounds, well, your voice is like what?
It's involuntarily celibate. The women of society have decided that you are to be celibate. And I can understand why through this brief conversation. Hey, thanks for the call.
Catholic.
Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Pat from Connecticut.
Hey, Pat.
Pop, P-O-P.
What?
P-O-P, Pop.
Okay, Pop. What's on your mind?
Sure. I was just wondering, I don't think I'm subscribed. I'll subscribe to your channel now. Just scrolling through, and I just popped up on your thing. So I was just wondering, why doesn't the Republican Party ever look in the mirror and see all these mass shootings are all white guys and stuff like that? Why wasn't his spiritual advisor just arrested for molesting a 12-year-old or something like that?
No, I don't know about that. Well, I don't really classify things based on skin color. But if you look at the violence that's going on in this country, you're right. There seems to be a lot of white people among these Antifa. I've not seen any non-white Antifa yet. Is Antifa a white supremacist, white nationalist organization? All the ones that were arrested in Portland, when they take the masks off, they're white.
Right. I'm talking about the shootings, like the guy that shot Charlie Kirk.
Democrat, gay Democrat.
No, his dad was a Trump supporter, right?
No, a Trump supporter? No, that was a gay Democrat that shot Charlie Kirk.
No. His family, the Mormons.
President Trump's parents were Democrats. What does it matter what the political affiliation of a parent is?
No. Take the wax out of your ears. I said the shooter, his family was MAGA, right?
President Trump's family were Democrats. Since when do we judge people based on the political affiliation of their parents? That's a new one to me. So you just ignore their political affiliation and go to the parents?
Well, he had no political affiliation. His parents were MAGA. He grew up in
Are you kidding? He's gay. His boyfriend's transgendered, becoming a woman, and he shot the number 2 MAGA person in America, Charlie Kirk. That's his liberal credentials are pretty strong there. He's gay, got a transgendered boyfriend, and he shot the number 2 MAGA guy in America. If that's not a liberal, I don't know what is.
Do you think that it was a 30-06 that killed Charlie Kirk?
I don't know about the weapon, but I know who did it. By the way, he confessed.
He did not confess. He
turned himself in. Yeah, he told his dad. He told his dad he did it, and drove to the police station and turned himself in.
No, sir. No.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Listen,
sir. He turned himself in for doing it.
Has he spoken to authorities? Has he
Initially, he did. Yes. Initially, he did.
All they put out was that ChatGPT.
He told the judge last week. He told the judge
No, he
last
didn't.
week he did it.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
The whole thing.
He
I watched the whole
pled.
thing.
He pled guilty.
You're a liar. You're lying. You're
Okay.
lying.
No, I'm not. I'm just on the planet Earth. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? My goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Joe from Arkansas, man. Thanks for taking my call. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Oh,
hey,
yes. Here we
I'm
go.
not trying to grandstand on your show.
Here we
I'm not
go.
trying to do
Yes.
anything like that. I'm not trying to take over your show. But I would like to say to your audience, MAGA already knows because we're awesome, but, like, does the rest of the haters that are listening understand that treason is offering aid and comfort to the enemies? Like, the governors and the sitting mayors can be arrested for treason.
Well,
and I don't quite understand
correct.
why they're not.
Well, it's a developing
know.
story.
That's-
Hopefully they will be. I don't know. I don't really trust Pam Bondi too much. She doesn't seem to do much of anything.
No, but she's a cutie, though, huh?
Nah, she's not as good looking as she used to be. No, I don't agree with that. No, I'm not. I'm not in the 60-year-old ladies. You're in the 60-year-old ladies? You like 60-year-old ladies? You know, you think you've heard of Mill? She's a grilf? All right, take care. Yeah, you didn't know she was 60, did you? How'd that do for your fantasy? You're on the air. What's your name? Oh, hold on. Let me answer these lines. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Arthur. I'm from Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'd like to bang you. You're hot.
Well, hey, get in line. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Joe from California.
Hey.
Hey, congratulations on all your success over the past couple of months in regards to your increased views and
Thank you.
engagement. You're very welcome. You totally deserve it because I know you put in some long hours.
Heck yeah.
So what I wanted to there's three things I wanted to touch on. One is that it is the right of the president to call up the National Guard. And unfortunately, this is going to get appealed and it's going to end up being authorized. The reason why he can is because there's civil unrest and it's impeding the ability for federal law enforcement to execute the law. So there's that. And that's in the statute in regards to whether or not he can call them up.
Yeah.
So that's a given. I don't know why some of your callers are so uneducated in regards to actually looking up the information, but whatever.
Well, you can tell. You can tell I'm getting calls from Chicago and Portland, and you can hear how unhinged they are.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, their leadership is giving the president even more ammunition to have that ability and to have that action become a reality, which is unfortunate for. Well, I don't want to say that it's unfortunate for them because it's going to make it a safer place. So,
yeah.
The other thing is, I don't see anybody, especially liberals, getting all upset or stating how the president is overreaching in regards to his allowable duties when Joe Biden ended up creating crossing the border instead of it being a misdemeanor or a felony for that matter. He ended up changing that to an administrative violation, which makes no sense whatsoever.
Exactly.
Which enabled all of these people to come across the border unvetted, which is a security risk. So why is not somebody actually investigating who authorized that?
Yeah.
So that they can.
Well, we know it wasn't him. It was somebody there that had access to the auto pen.
Exactly, but I don't hear liberals standing up and being all crazed about that and saying, oh, he overreached his power. Lastly, in regards to that Chicago call, when an officer asks for aid, that is fundamental. It's a mutual aid request of an officer needing assistance. To not go and answer the call is a dereliction of duty and it's unethical, and it is a professional violation. If anything else, I really do hope that the DOJ authorizes the Inspector General to go in there and to turn that department inside out and investigate it from where he gets his money, emails, cell phones, everything. Everybody in leadership. Because obviously he knew what he was doing.
I got to tell you, you talk to these people, you look at everything that's like that last guy I was just talking with, the Charlie Kirk shooter. The guy's gay. He's got a transgendered boyfriend. He shoots the #1 MAGA representative out there after the president, but they want to say he's MAGA, right? He confessed to his father, and he turned himself in, but they want to say he didn't do it. I mean, they're reality deprived. They're just reality deprived.
It's an unfortunate sickness that you cannot actually have some sort of common sense.
Nope. There's no middle ground with these people. No, there's no meeting of the minds. There's no it's what J.D. Vance said 2 weeks ago. There's no unity with these people. They're too far gone.
Well, no, and you would think that child trafficking and human trafficking and sex trafficking, which is a large component,
You'd think.
and exploitation of these people, that you would think that they would get on board with stopping this, because to be honest, all you're doing is exploiting people, and isn't that exactly what you're condemning President Trump of doing? Is exploiting people, and yet you're sitting back and allowing it to occur and not doing anything.
That's right.
So,
all right. Well, listen, appreciate the call. It's nice to talk to a sane person.
Sure. Have a great day.
All right. Take care. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Sebastian again.
No, it's one call per day. One call per show, and then you've had your call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello. My name's Greg from Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Awesome.
I just wanted to talk to you about Chicago.
Yeah.
So you said that you wanted the chief of police to be investigated.
The chief of the patrol division. They have a bunch of deputy. The Chicago police isn't run by a chief. They call them the superintendent, and the superintendent of the Chicago Police Department has a bunch of deputy chiefs under him. The chief of patrol, when those ICE agents were being hunted down by, I don't know who these guys are with the rifles, 10 carloads of them, and asked for backup, the chief of the patrol division went on the radio and ordered Chicago police officers to not respond to the request for backup. He tried to get those ICE officers killed.
You said that there was a group of 10 carloads of people
the
with
ICE
rifles?
officers were in a vehicle. They were boxed in by 10 cars. One of the cars crashed into them. Then the people got out with rifles, started firing on the officers. The officers were boxed in. The ICE officers, they got out of their SUV. A gunfight took place. They shot one of the woman. There was a woman driving who rammed them. They shot her. And then they were trying to escape on foot. They called in for police backup, and the Chicago Chief of Patrol ordered the officers to stand down, not respond, not give them backup.
Really?
Yeah. I played the 911 call earlier on the program.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
And you want Cash Patel to investigate this individual?
I want the Chief of Patrol brought in for questioning and investigating. Yeah, he was trying to get these ICE agents killed.
You think?
I know.
Well, it's not. There isn't one thing that I, have to say about this is there isn't a federal requirement that local police officers. There isn't like a federal law requiring local police officers to support ICE in these
ICE are federal. No, excuse me. You are wrong. There's a gun battle. Yeah, listen for a second. There's a gun battle going on in the streets of Chicago, right? The Chicago police are responsible for policing the streets of Chicago. So anytime there is a gunfight in the streets of Chicago, they are obligated to respond. Are you okay? Did I shock you?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine. The thing is, I'm just not. I'm just saying that, like, you know.
Well, you're another brain dead Democrat. I mean, I can't help that.
No, I'm not a brain.
Let me ask you: Are you a grown up? Are you an adult? Are you a child? Are you underage? Or are you an adult?
I'm an adult.
You're an adult. Okay. Did you go to school on one of those short school buses or a regular size school bus?
No, regular size.
Okay.
But
you just sound a little off to me. I don't understand. The reason I ask is you seem a little slow to me. There's a gun battle going on with about 20 people in the streets of Chicago, and you're saying that the Chicago police aren't obliged to intervene and try to stop the gunfight? I thought you might be a special person when you sound so slow.
Who verified this? That, like,
the news, all the news. It's in all news outlets have covered this story nationally, local and national. It's been everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes. It's all weekend long.
In shootout.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Listen, I got to run. Yes, look it out. I got to run. If you're on hold, stand by. It is October. It is Medicare open enrollment season. If you are 65 years of age or older and on Medicare, this is the one time of year you can make changes to your policy. I'm going to give you the number to Chapter. When you call Chapter, you're going to get a live agent on the phone, and they're going to help you completely for free. That's amazing. It's free help. They cover all states. So no matter what state you're listening to me on, they can help you with your Medicare. You know, the average Chapter client saves $1,100 a year on their Medicare. They're going to make sure that you're getting all the benefits you're entitled to. You know, millions of seniors aren't getting all their Medicare benefits. Chapter, they're going to make sure that you are. They're going to make sure that your doctors and prescriptions are covered in the coming year. You know, a lot of companies are getting out of the Medicare business altogether this year. Call Chapter. Make sure you have coverage. The help is free. There's no catches or gimmicks to that, by the way. You're going to get a live agent on the phone, and they'll be able to help you. I'm going to give you the number. The number's up on your screen right now. It's also in the description of the episode on whatever platform you are listening on. But if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it on the screen. But if you're listening on one of the podcast platforms, I'm going to give you the number. It's also in the description of the episode on all platforms. 805-754-3033. 805-754-3033. Give Chapter a call. It's open enrollment period. Once open enrollment is over, you're locked into what you got. And you don't want to do that. You want to check. And by the way, it doesn't cost you anything. It's completely free. 805-754-3033. 805-754-3033. We'll be right back.
This Halloween, treat yourself with Pacifiqua. From car accessories and gadgets to fashion, home, kids, pets, and even wealth building guides, everything is on sale. Use coupon TRICKY10 all October for 10% off everything. Upgrade your ride, refresh your wardrobe, or find the perfect Halloween gifts. Top brands like Nike, Dr. Martens, Calvin Klein, Vans, and more are waiting. Don't miss out. Pacifiqua.com. That's PACIFIQUA.com, where every day is a treat. Forget pointy hats and bubbly cauldrons. From author Aurelia Nelson comes the new book, How to Be a Bad Witch, Unleashing Your Inner Power and Casting Your Own Destiny. Available on Amazon. This must-read and life-changing book isn't about fairy tale magic. It's about real power, the kind that comes with confidence, clarity, and unapologetic self-possession. When you read How to Be a Bad Witch, you'll discover how to protect your energy, banish negativity, and draw the boundaries that keep toxic people out of your life. Take that first step to transform doubt into unshakable strength and unleash your inner enchantress. And order your copy of How to Be a Bad Witch from author Aurelia Nelson. Available right now on Amazon and Kindle, paperback, and free with Kindle Unlimited. Claim your magic and cast your own destiny. Order your copy right now. Looking for a spooky style upgrade this Halloween? Poppy Place has everything from dresses, mini, midi, and maxi to cozy sweaters, hoodies, and jackets. Need something for the gym or lounging at home? They've got leggings, activewear, and comfy sets. Even swimwear for that last-minute getaway. And here's a treat. Use the coupon SPIDER10 all October to get 10% off everything. Don't wait. Grab pants, skirts, tops, and more before the month vanishes like a ghost. PoppyPlace.shop. Making Halloween stylish, one outfit at a time. Running a business is tough, and cybersecurity shouldn't make it harder. At netosecurity.com, that's N-E-T-O, they provide vCISO services, compliance consulting, and security assessments to keep your organization protected and audit ready. Whether it's HIPAA, ISO 27001, or NIST, netosecurity.com have you covered. Learn more at netosecurity.com. That's netosecurity.com, delivering practical solutions that protect your business.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast. All right, if you're on hold, stand by for the guy in Philadelphia. This is Fox News reporting about the gunfight, okay? This is Fox News reporting today.
We're hearing from a lot of rank-and-file Chicago cops who say that they are outraged that they were ordered to stand down after federal agents were attacked. The communication for the stand down appears to have come from the chief of patrol himself over the communications platform with the Office of Emergency Management and Communication, reading very clearly, no units will respond to this. Multiple police sources have confirmed that that message is authentic, and it is backed up by audio of the stand-down order.
So the chief of patrol clear everybody up. We're not responding over there.
All right, and 999, just to confirm, 39th Police in Kedzie, they were saying that they were being surrounded by that large crowd, and they were requesting the police were not sending, waving off all the cars heading to 39th Police in Kedzie.
Again, those are the orders we're being given.
There it is.
Now, the official statement from Chicago Police Department reads, CPD responded to the scene to document the incident. CPD officers were also on the scene to maintain public safety and traffic control. It happened in Brighton Park. The scene was triggered when two individuals allegedly rammed a Border Patrol vehicle with their cars. Border Patrol agents shot the driver of one of the allegedly attacking vehicles. The drivers are now charged federally, but the incident triggered a riot. That's when the calls for help went out. Now, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson just moments ago dodged questions about whether that order tracks back to him, but he says he doubts the narrative of the Border Patrol agents.
Okay, so that's that. There's Fox News reporting this story for the liberally impaired in the audience. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Greg from New York. The reason why I'm calling is I think we should all call up the mayor's press number. I called.
No, I'm not giving out phone numbers to offices. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello. This is James from Pennsylvania. So I had a quick question. What are your thoughts on Chicago?
I've been talking about them for the last almost 90 minutes. Chicago is in open rebellion. I was just played a story from Chicago. Chicago, the entire state of Illinois, is in open rebellion against the federal government. That's what I think.
You know, I think ICE made a fool of themselves shooting that woman.
Who made a fool of themselves? Who made a fool of themselves?
ICE made a fool of themselves shooting at that woman.
You mean the one? You mean the one? You mean the one that rammed them with their car with the 9 other cars and got out with a long rifle and started shooting at them? How did they make a fool out of it? She crashed into them and got out of the car and started shooting at them with a rifle.
There's no evidence.
Yes, it's all over. They arrested her. They got her. Yes, she's in custody. Just because you don't know about it doesn't mean there's not. Okay, I just played the story. She's in. All right, appreciate the call. Oh my goodness, I can't talk to too many dumb people in a row. I'm starting to get a headache. So Antifa, here's Caroline Levitt today talking about Antifa.
The financial backing of these groups, particularly Antifa, is certainly something the administration is looking into aggressively. And the federal government has never really been mobilized or tasked with doing that. So we're kind of kickstarting that into gear. The FBI is working on it alongside the White House's Homeland Security Task Force. We have our intelligence community looking into this as well. And even the Secretary of Treasury is involved with these matters since they are financial in nature. And we will continue to get to the bottom of who is funding these organizations in this organized anarchy against our country and our government. It's a question the American people have been begging the answer for many years, and we're committed to uncovering it. And when we do, I'm sure you'll be one of the first people to know.
Okay, so they're doing a financial background into the funding of Antifa. Look at this. Antifa terrorist, author and organizer and financer Mark Bray has fled the United States to Europe. He's a Rutgers University professor. He is an organizer and financer of Antifa. He has fled to Europe. What does that tell you? Yeah. Tells you that it's coming down, doesn't it? It's coming down big time. If you're new, my name is Brian. This obviously is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe. And I also want to ask you guys out there, I don't have a marketing team, okay? And the way people find out about this program is through word of mouth. So if you could take the link to this program and share the link on all your social media and encourage your friends and followers to check the show out and follow and subscribe, that would be spectacular. You guys can be my marketing team and spread the word about this program. Just take the link and share it on your socials and ask your friends to check it out and subscribe and follow. That'd be great. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. Good afternoon. This is Nick out of
Hey, Nick.
Baltimore.
What's up?
Actually, I'm Miller's Island. Let me just address a couple of things here. I really think President Trump can and should put into effect the Insurrection Act of 1807.
Absolutely.
And every city.
Yeah.
Because it's really out of hand. And I'll tell you something else. And I was watching, was it Outnumbered today, I think it was. And they talked about this culture of assassination. And given the fact that we're 2 weeks away from the assassination of Charlie Kirk, are we not? I think.
How long has it been? How long ago?
I think it's been 2 weeks now. Hasn't
It's had to be longer than that. I think we're going on 3 weeks or a month. It seems long time. I've lost track.
Yeah, and well, this is an assassination culture. They're developing an atmosphere justifying assassination. And this thing in Chicago and in Portland, I was watching some of that stuff last night. It's just ridiculous. I mean, and really, what's going on here is we've got these communists, these kids that have been indoctrinated, and that are buying into this communist BS.
That's exactly right.
And they just don't have a sense of history, and they don't have a passion and love for this country. They grew up during the Obama era, and that's the problem.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. They don't have an understanding. It's amazing. Caroline Leavitt's only 28 years old. She may be one of the sharpest 28-year-olds in the country. I mean, listen to these people I'm talking to, and they're did you hear the guy from Chicago? My goodness, that's what ICE have to deal with.
That's why I'm calling. It's like, what the heck is going on? I mean, other than Richie, Sean, and
well, this is the left. Listen. You've been listening to talk shows like this for a long time. I've been doing this for a long time, and the left have changed in this country. This is not the left that we used to have. They're just different than they used to be.
No, I've been listening to talk radio. You're right. Since I was about 11 years old, we'd go back and forth between top 40 radio and talk radio because my dad was into talk radio.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it's very different. You're absolutely correct. It's much more today. Yesterday, it was much more critically. It was a critical thinking mode we were in, and there's less of that today because of the indoctrination of these colleges.
Well, there's an anger to it's not that the liberals were ever right. But there was some middle. We still agreed in American excellence, and this was the greatest country for the most part. There were exceptions, but we have no common foundation between the modern left. They're out of control.
We don't. You're right. And before I go, I had teachers in high school that were liberal, but they said, "Listen, don't take our word for it." This is during the Watergate era, when the Watergate hearings were on. We actually stopped. And it was towards the end of the year. They actually put the hearings on in school so we could watch it. And I remember the teacher saying, "Hey, look, don't just listen to us. Listen to everybody and read everything." People were much more open-minded, whereas now they just totally, if you disagree with them, oh, you're racist, oh, you're a Nazi.
Exactly.
And that's the way they shut everybody down. So.
That's right. No, you're right. Yeah.
All righty.
All right, take care. Hey. Nick in Baltimore. Now, if you're on hold, stand by. Let's hear from the brain surgeon, AOC.
Is that they are scrapping and grasping at straws because they have nothing else. Laugh at them. Stephen Miller is a clown. I've never seen that guy in real life, but he looks like he's like 4'10", and he looks like he is angry about the fact that he's 4'10".
Okay, now 4'10". Does she have a problem with short people? Stephen Miller is about 5'10". He may look shorter because everybody around Trump is like over 6 feet tall, a lot of them. But what is she talking about here? Very bizarre. She some kind of bigotry she has towards little people.
And he looks like he is so mad that he is 4'10", that he's taking that anger out at any other population possible. Like, laugh at them. Laugh at them. Yes, they are dangerous. Yes, we're here to be strong for one another. We need to expose the lies.
What are the lies?
We need to never let off the gas when it comes to protecting one another, exposing the lies, documenting things. We're seeing this too, right? And so I think it's very important to be able to hold multiple things at once. And we've seen this work in other cultures. We've seen this work in other countries.
What other country or culture would we want to change ours to? We have the best country and the best culture in the world.
Yes.
See, this is the problem with the younger people today, the left. They think that there are better countries and better cultures than ours. Which one is she talking about?
Resistance to authoritarianism
Somalia?
is very real. The risks of abuse of power are very real. But one of the most powerful cultural things that you can do to a political movement that is predicated on the puffery of
What's that mean?
Of insecure masculinity. That's what this is about. This isn't, people talk about toxic masculinity more than it.
Have you seen her boyfriend? What does AOC know about masculinity and manly men?
Like, let's put that to the side for just 1 second. This is about insecure masculinity. And one of the best ways that you can dismantle a movement of insecure men is by making fun of them.
Oh.
By having secure men.
Oh, so she's going to start making fun of Stephen Miller, and she thinks she's going to bring him down? Stephen Miller is one of the toughest guys I've ever seen. And she does not want to be verbally dueling with Stephen Miller. She'll lose every time.
Who aren't afraid of successful people around them, who are good dads, who have strong values, also participating in that as well. So, like, that's what I have for that. And also someone said, short kings are great. Absolutely.
He's 5'10".
I'm not here... I want to absolutely make sure that I talk about that. I'm not here to make fun of anyone's anything, but the way people overcompensate over their own stories is what I'm talking about there. So thank you for the clarification. I appreciate that. Shout out to our short kings.
I wish you wouldn't get so close to the camera.
Someone said not short king, short troll. That's correct. There's a difference.
Okay. What's going on here with what she's talking about here is they have a group of people in the Trump administration that aren't backing down. I got to rewind. I can't. I got a close up on her face. Okay, I got to get her further back. I can't look at AOC up close. They have a group that aren't standing down. They're not accustomed to dealing with real men and manly men on the left. They've dealt with metrosexual, cowardly men who cave to the will of the left on a dime, and they're not having that happen, and they're just not used to it. You know, these liberals had thought that they rid American society of men, manly men. They thought they'd feminized the entire population and that they were going to be running the country, and that's not the case. Let me take a quick break. When we get back, there is more to share. You're listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast. My name is Brian, and of course, the Brian Craig Show is available on all podcast platforms. We'll be right back.
Looking for treats without the tricks this Halloween? From drones to designer fashion, smart home gadgets to beauty essentials, Elegana has something for everyone. And here's the sweet part. Through all of October, everything is 10% off with the coupon code Halloween10. Whether it's luxury fashion, tech gear, home and garden, or even pet supplies, it's all waiting at Elegana. Don't miss it. Shop now at Elegana.com. That's ELLEGANA.com. And save big this spooky season. Sometimes the smallest creatures have the biggest lessons to share. Meet Paws the Penguin. Wise, kind, and just a little bit funny in Tiny Tales of Truth. Paws the Penguin teaches patience. From author Stacy Kirch. Available on Amazon. Paws discovers that while grown-ups often tell kids to be patient, they don't always follow that advice themselves. Through heartwarming and lighthearted stories, Paws gently reminds us that patience is a skill we can all learn. Children, parents, teachers, and even busy adults. With charm and warmth, this delightful children's book shows that the best way to teach patience is by living it. Tiny Tales of Truth is perfect for family story time or classroom reading. It brings timeless values to life in a way that kids will love and grown-ups will appreciate. Bring home the gentle wisdom of Paws the Penguin right now and order your copy on Amazon in Kindle and paperback. Tiny Tales of Truth. Paws the Penguin teaches patience. From author Stacy Kirch. Living with autoimmune symptoms can feel overwhelming. The fatigue, pain, inflammation, and the constant struggle just to get through the day. But what if you could take back control and start living again? You can do just that in the new book from author Kobe Connolly, How to Counteract Autoimmune Symptoms and Get Back to Living, available on Amazon. In this must-read and life-changing book, the author shares a powerful, holistic approach that unites the mind, body, and spirit. This isn't about quick fixes or one-size-fits-all cures. It's about giving you practical strategies as well as empowering tools to reduce stress, restore balance, and improve your quality of life. When you read How to Counteract Autoimmune Systems and Get Back to Living, you'll discover evidence-based insights and mindful practices designed to help you feel better, live better, and reclaim the joy that illness has stolen from you. Stop just surviving and start thriving, and order your copy of How to Counteract Autoimmune Symptoms and Get Back to Living, available right now on Amazon and Kindle, paperback, and free with Kindle Unlimited. Sometimes the smallest creatures have the biggest lessons to share. Meet Paws the Penguin. Wise, kind, and just a little bit funny in Tiny Tales of Truth. Paws the Penguin teaches patience. From author Stacy Kirch. Available on Amazon. Paws discovers that while grown-ups often tell kids to be patient, they don't always follow that advice themselves. Through heartwarming and lighthearted stories, Paws gently reminds us that patience is a skill we can all learn. Children, parents, teachers, and even busy adults. With charm and warmth, this delightful children's book shows that the best way to teach patience is by living it. Tiny Tales of Truth is perfect for family story time or classroom reading. It brings timeless values to life in a way that kids will love and grown-ups will appreciate. Bring home the gentle wisdom of Paws the Penguin right now and order your copy on Amazon in Kindle and paperback. Tiny Tales of Truth. Paws the Penguin teaches patience. From author Stacy Kirch.
All right, we are back, and hold on one second,
who might go
guys.
down as one of the very reasons my father got elected, right? It's kind of
Hold on a second, guys.
Separately, Smith's team also moved to
I hit the
end
wrong
its
button.
appeal of the other federal judges'
Okay, there we go. Okay, we got some news that just came down that I want to share with you guys, and it's It's crazy stuff about Jack Smith. And listen to this, Jack Smith. Now remember, Jack Smith was the guy behind the break-in of Mar-a-Lago, this fake special prosecutor that was appointed. Jack Smith tracked private communications and calls of nearly a dozen GOP senators during the J6 probe, the FBI says. This is crazy. Former special counsel Jack Smith was tracking this is Fox News reporting. Former special counsel Jack Smith was tracking the private communications and phone calls of nearly a dozen Republican senators as part of his investigation into the J6 Capitol riots, Fox News has learned. A document reviewed by Fox revealed that Jack Smith and his Arctic Frost team investigating January 6th were allegedly tracking the phone calls of Lindsey Graham, Marsha Blackburn, these are GOP senators, Ron Johnson, Josh Hawley, Cynthia Loomis of Wyoming, Bill Hagerty of Tennessee, Dan Sullivan of Alaska, Tommy Tuberville of Alabama, and GOP Rep Mark Kelly of Pennsylvania. And this is some scary stuff. The document recently discovered by Kash Patel and exclusively obtained by Fox News is titled CAST, C-A-S-T Assistance, and dated September 27, 2023. CAST refers to the FBI's Cellular Analysis Survey Team. The document, which has the names of FBI agents involved redacted, marks the case ID as Arctic Frost, Election Law Matters, Sensitive Investigative Matters, CAST. The document states the names of the lawmakers and that an FBI special agent on Smith's team conducted preliminary toll analysis on the toll records associated with the lawmakers. An FBI official told Fox News Digital that Smith and his team tracking the senators were able to see which phone numbers they called, the location the phone call originated, and the location where it was received. A source said the calls were likely in reference to the vote. It goes on and on. But Jack Smith, who broke into Mar-a-Lago, was going pretty rogue, wasn't he? These are some scary times. All right, let's take a call or two. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Jimothy. I'm from Texas, and I have a controversial idea I'd like to share and put it out there into the public and to yourself, sir. I believe we should start taking away people's citizenships based on who they voted for.
Oh, come on.
I believe
come
there
on.
are 75
God, all right.
million...
I'm not going to have stupid conversations about stupid things. But I'll tell you this. This guy, Jack Smith, and his team, we just found out about this. Could you imagine what that surveillance led to? Could you imagine what that surveillance has led to? That surveillance has had to lead to all kinds of things that we don't know about yet. And this is going to be, this is a major revelation. Now, let me tell you, there's been no one that's been more upset with Pam Bondi and Kash Patel and Bongino than me. And I've been very vocal about it. Hopefully, and Kash discovered this document, hopefully they'll get off their butts and start bringing some people in. Arresting people and bringing them in. Enough of this dance that's going on, right? Enough of this dance that's going on. And not only that, okay, the people around him. It's not just Jack Smith. It's the people around him. These are all criminals. They need to be arrested. They need to be perp walked. They need to be charged. They need to be brought into court. And I'm sure the president, who knows more than we know, his patience with Bondi and Kash Patel, if they're not doing their job, he's got to be more upset with them than us, because this guy broke into his home, Mar-a-Lago. Now, if you're new to the program, make sure you subscribe. My name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks for tuning in. I will talk to you next time. Take care.